Good morning, Book Fights. Today is Monday, February 7th, and I've got a lot to get through today, so I'm going to talk really quickly. Let's go! Katie, how funny of you to bring up superheroes when this week I was reading about the first and the original superhero, Sherlock Holmes. I mean, seriously, he is the complete superhero archetype. You've got his superpower, him being much cleverer than everyone else. You've got his sidekick, the arch nemesis, and even the butler. And a countless number of mysteries that he solved. Yeah, but that's just something that struck me while I was reading it. He is completely a superhero, and I think I'm right in thinking that he was the first one. But no, I read The Hound of the Baskervilles this week, and I really enjoyed it, at least for like the first 3 chapters. When Sherlock Holmes is on the page, you are just addicted, and mainly because he's such a dick. Like, he's so horrible to Watson, and he's so sure of himself and arrogant and confident in his abilities, and he loves the fact he's better than everyone else, and he revels in it, and he enjoys it, and you just kind of feel a bit sorry for Watson because Sherlock Holmes is such a but then at the same time you're enjoying every minute of it. Like, literally, when he is on the page, I am so in, and I was loving it. The problem with The Hound of the Baskervilles, and I haven't read, well, as I said last week, this is the only Sherlock Holmes book that I've read, but the problem with this one is, like, halfway through the book, well, actually a third of the way through the book, and for like a third of the way through the book, Watson goes to the country on his own and he's exploring, and there's no Sherlock Holmes. And then for me, that was just kind of a lull in the story, and it kind of really, it brought it down. It didn't make me not enjoy it. I still read it, and I read it in pretty much one sitting. I really enjoyed it. But yeah, when Watson is on his own, just not as good. For me, the draw is Sherlock Holmes, and this actually made me realise how good the BBC series was. If you haven't seen the BBC series, it's a modern adaptation, and it's perfect. They get the relationship between Watson and Sherlock just so spot on, and I'm definitely going to read more Sherlock Holmes stories. I love it, and I'm so in, and I love the science of deduction, and if you haven't read any Sherlock Holmes, do so. So last week I asked a question about writing a novella. I said that each of us and each of those writer girls were going to write a chapter, and it's going to be 10 chapters, but only 5 people replied. 4 of those writer girls replied, and Lauren replied, which means I'm waiting for one of those writer girls, Wendy, I believe, Rachel, and the rest of you. Why haven't you answered me? So those writer girls who are watching this channel, if your Wednesday does not watch this channel, can you please let her know my idea and ask her if she wants to be involved? And book fighters, get your act together. I mean, you talk about me, Lauren. No, I'm sorry, no, Lauren did it. Speaking about questions, the 3 books that I would take to a desert island are as followed. I would take the complete works of Shakespeare, because who would not want to take on a desert island with them a bound copy of all the best stories ever written? The second book I would take is Lord of the Rings, and I would want it to elevate me and make me forget that I'm finite, and just take me away from Earth and make me forget that I'm human, and just totally just transport me. And the third book I take is Looking for Alaska, and I would take that simply for the reason that I would want it to bring me back and remind me that I'm human, and how wonderful it is to be this way, and how lucky I am to feel. Boom! Yeah, Kate, you also asked about Batman, and I think you probably know this. I'm a huge Batman fan. Batman is my favourite superhero. I've been buying the comics for years, and I just absolutely love him. And I shared before in the video that there are a lot of similarities, but what makes Batman, like, really intriguing is you have the archetype, and you have Batman, who is largely the opposite. Let's compare him to Sherlock Holmes. Let's do it. Let's go mental. So you got Sherlock Holmes, who's this kind of bright character and snappy and easily excitable, and he loves it, and he loves getting his hands dirty, and he's just out there and forthcoming and bright, and he makes gags, and he loves what he's doing and gets excited by it. And then you have his arch nemesis Moriarty, who is dark, and he lurks in the shadows, and he plots and he conspires, and I think you can see where I'm going with this. Yes, the Batman and the Joker, those characters are reversed. The Joker's the bright, snappy owl, and Batman's in the shadows and cool, opposites. Batman is a book that is full of metaphor that you can just pour over and pour over and pour over. Just so interesting, so much more interesting than any others. I'll give you another example. Sherlock Holmes is set in London, and London is this bright place, and it's the centre of England, and it's the hustle and bustle of the capital, and everything is good and pure, except for underneath it, the underworld is dark, and there are criminal activity, and there's dens of vice. But in Gotham, it is the dens of vice, and the badness, and the foul play, and the criminal activity entity that is the mask, and underneath it lies the good people, and the people who you can put your faith in, that Batman constantly tries to root out. Finally, you may remember that I decided I was going to write a novel this year, and I am. And last week was research month, I decided, and I read a load of fantasy books, and I am including Paris Hilton in that. But I also wrote or finished a short story, and I would really like your feedback on it. I've put download things. You can download it on Kindle, or you can download it in a Word document. I tried to upload it in PDF, but it wouldn't work. And basically, I just really would like your feedback. What do you think? Do you like it? Do you like the characters? Do you like the setting? Do you like the way I tell a story? Like, I really want your feedback so I know when I'm starting to write my novel what I'm doing wrong or what I'm doing right, and I'd really like your constructive criticism. So that is my question for the week, my rather needy question for the week. What do you think? And anyone else, please email me. If you download a copy of the short story, you'll find my email in there, and please email me your thoughts and comments. Those writer girls, I would love to hear what you think. So but download away, and I hope you enjoy it. And yeah, I apologize to Lauren, who obviously you've got to make your video tomorrow, and that means, well, you could do it next week. It's fine. But yeah. Next week I'm reading Never Let Me Go by Kazuo Ishiguro. It's just, they're bringing a movie out like in a couple of days, and I want to go and see it, but I want to read this first. It's a love story set in the future, and I'm all over the place. I don't know what's going on today. That's my video for this week. That was a lot of information. I've talked really quickly, and now I've got to go. Lauren, I'll see you tomorrow.